phone. Hmm.
Okay, Arip. Today I'm going to be your first examiner. Now for part two, I'm already giving you a card with some questions. You will have about 1 minute to prepare your answer. And then you will have about 1 to 2 minutes to give a response. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Okay?
Okay.
All right now. You may use the note paper and pencil in front of you to take some notes in 1 minute. Are you ready?
I do.
Please begin speaking.
Hi, my name is Mohammad Nofariyansyah. My student number is 343190061. I will describe an experience when I get bored when I was with the others. It was the time when I can do something for my own, like being stuck in a situation that I don't want to. I was with my friends, all of my friends just playing mobile games and stuff, and basically I don't play games that much. And basically, I'm an introvert, so I need much time to recharge my energy, just being with myself and do something I love, like listen to music. And I just felt bored when I being around with people for a long time. Thank you. You're mute. You're mute.
I'm sorry. Now in part three, I'm going to ask you several questions related to this topic. Are you ready?
I ready.
Okay. Why do people get bored?
Boredom can be caused by a number of factors, but the most common is being stuck in a repetitive or monotonous experience. Attention span is also likely linked to boredom. If we're not giving our attention to what we're doing, then we're not much likely to get bored by it.
Some people say that it's good to be feel bored sometimes. What do you think?
I do think that bored is necessary. It is more likely an engine for us to make a change into our life. Me myself felt bored with my life right now. I think it is because not many activities I can do in the term of money and time. I still got my money from my parents and got a lot of assignments from college.
Okay. Are there any jobs that some people find boring?
There are, in my opinion, a job that half you stuck in a place is boring, like office worker. You got to stay on a chair for from morning to evening, and looking at the computer and store stuff.
And do you think all boring jobs will be done by robots in the future?
I do. AI or artificial intelligence development is terrifying. So fast that can make 100,000 or even million people lose their job. In Japan, most job that is fine easy to do now being replaced by artificial intelligence or robots.
Why is that some people work in boring jobs? Why do people agree to do boring jobs?
There are some reasons. The people that do boring jobs don't have any soft skill that can be used to gain much money in easiest way. Not very easy, but less energy consumed, like video editor, or translator, or photographer, or many more. Another reason maybe there are not many choices available. They need money. If they resign, it will be hard to get another job, and they will lose their income. I don't think so that people agree with doing boring jobs. Like I said, it is maybe they don't have any choices.
Okay. Why do some people get bored faster than others?
Some people can work that's stuck in a place, and if we see it from mentality view, it is more likely felt by extrovert people. An extrovert is a friendly people who enjoys talking and being around with people. Extroverts love parties, talking on the phone, and meeting new people. That is why they can stick in a place.
Nowadays, people have no one to blame other than themselves for feeling bored. Would you agree?
I would. In my opinion, you need money to feel happy and not being bored. You can travel the world, buy stuff, or eat expensive foods. And to have that much money, we gotta work harder than anyone. Sleepless, tired. Sometimes, something that will pop up in their head maybe. why am I so lazy? If I work harder, then maybe I can buy stuff that I want, buy cars, or any technology they want.
Do you believe that technology has made life to become more interesting?
I do. For example, phones. In a phone, you can find many things that you can find interesting, like mobile games, buy clothes easier, foods, or buy tickets to travel, or even you can start your own business.
Should people themselves be the ones who should make their lives to be more interesting?
Yes, I said it before. Boredom can be an engine to make a change. When you find it tired to live like you used to, you should make or do something different from your daily activities. And if it need more money, it can be your incentive to make more money than you usually get.
Do you agree that it is impossible to feel bored in our today's world?
No, I don't. Boredom can be felt at any moment, I think. Yes, in our today's world, every little thing can be done easier, but some people find it boring to get something that easily. Some people need challenge in their life, so it is possible to feel bored in our today's world.
Okay. Thank you, Arif.
Okay,
Now
you're
it's your
welcome.
turn.
So now, Michael, now for part two, I'm going to give you a card with some question. You will have about 1 minute to prepare your answers, and then you will have about 1 to 2 minutes to give a response. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. Okay. All right. Now you may use the notes paper and pencil in front of you to take some notes in the 1 minute. Are you ready?
Ready?
Let's begin speaking.
Actually, one day a friend of mine told me that he wanted to get something for a long time, but he never gets it because he was scared to take the risk and ending up in failure. Then I told him that if you want to get something that you want, you have to have courage to fight for it. Then you'll be rewarded. I told him that because when I was a kid, I heard a story about a kingdom that had a well-traveled road. The road had a giant rock in the middle, and people stumbled over the rock and also broke their legs trying to maneuver around it. One day, a little girl was badly injured when her family's wagon hit the rock. They had been traveling to the market to sell their beer when their cart tipped and all of their beer poured into the ground. It was all the product they had to sell. And without that money, they would have nothing. The girl didn't understand why so many people um, tried to go around the rock instead of moving it. Why would why would a rock be in such a bad position? So the girl started digging with her bare hands, and eventually she was able to move the rock out of the way. Before she could cover up the hole, she found a bag of gold. The king had put the rock in the road, and he put gold there to reward the person who took the time to move the rock. Anyone who would do such a thing deserves to be rewarded. And eventually, he heard my advice. He dared to take the risk. And if you ask me, is it the correct advice that I gave to him? I believe so because look what he's done now. He's still fighting for it. That's enough for me.
Okay, thank you. Now in part three, I'm going to ask you several questions related to the topic. Are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, part three. What kind of person is most suitable for giving advice to the others?
In my opinion, the kind of person who has been experiencing, so that person's the so that person's giving the advice based on what the person experienced.
Do you usually take advice from others or follow their advice, or do you insist on your own opinion and why?
Personally, I'm actually do sometimes. An advice from someone can be useful, especially when experiencing a problem. That's it.
Okay. Do you prefer advice from your family or friends?
Actually, I prefer both. Both of them are the place that you need it the most to have an advice for anything, literally anything.
Okay, why do young people ask for advice?
Um, Actually, in my opinion, young people are still learning, you know, not much of experience. That's why they often ask for an advice because sometimes they didn't know what to do when facing things that are new for them.
Next question, do teenagers take the advice seriously? Why?
Actually, in my opinion, it depends on the advice itself. When teenagers facing a new thing, for example, having a boyfriend or girlfriend, and you as parent want to give them advice that they aren't allowed yet to have a boyfriend and girl. So you have to explain it with a reasonable advice. For example, give them the reason why having a boyfriend or girlfriend is bad for teenagers, how it affects to their future life. They will take the advice seriously because it makes sense to them. That's it.
Why do people seek advice from professionals?
Obviously, the answer is very simple because they have experience and they are the expertise. For example, the doctors. If you ask advice about medical, of course you will ask the doctors because they have experience and expertise in that kind of thing.
Which is better, advice from young people or from older people?
Personally, I more prefer on older people, but sometimes young people can show the way of the older people when they get lost. For example, in Rengas Dengklok accident, when Sukarno had to get kidnapped with the young to declare independence quickly. That's it.
Um, why do many people, young people refuse to accept the advice from older people?
Excuse me, what was the question?
Why do many young people refuse to accept the advice from older people?
Oh, because I think the advice aren't reasonable for them. It doesn't make sense to them. Sometimes you just tell them advice, but only advice. For example, you told the kids, don't be rude to others, but you didn't provide the reason why. Okay.
You done? Okay. Some people find it easier to accept advice than the others. Why?
In my opinion, um, some people, I think, because they getting used to it, because for accepting advice from others, because they have been accepting a lot of advice from other people, and it actually works. So they depends on it and getting used to accepting advice from others. I think that's it.
Okay. Next question. Will people continue to seek advice from professionals in the future? Why?
Um, Actually, they will. Um, because not only them, but me personally will always need, especially from professional or the expert or parents and friends too, because we always facing a problem in our entire life, uh, and we need advice to face it. That's why we always needed the advice in the future.
Okay. What type of advice do people usually seek?
Um, Usually, I heard about people asking advice about daily life problems such as marriage, health problems, what else? Psychologies, etc. That's it. That's all I know.
That's it. Is it okay? Is it good to ask for advice from strangers online?
Actually, it depends. Uh, Sometimes I check on comment section in social media. If it's sometimes they give advice, but I check them. If it's reasonable, I'll take it, and if it's not, then better not take.
Okay. What are the personalities of people whose job is to advise the others?
By looking at the um, doctors and the psychologists and my they had problem solving skills, and intelligence. And the main and the most important is experience. Like I said before, experience is good to give advice to someone. That's it.
Okay, last question for me. What are the problems if you ask too many people for advice?
Go.
I repeat, the last question. What are the problems if you ask too many people for advice?
Um, Obviously, all people may have different types of advice because they have different way of thinking. If you ask too many, you'll get confused because there are too many advice that you're taking. I'd like to suggest to ask for advice to only people that cares about you or people you can trust. They will provide you good and reasonable advice because they care about you, and those people is trustworthy. They will not lead you astray. That's it.
Okay, thank you.